Okay, we're good.
Oh my God, Tristan's bringing me a
Pizza.
pumpkin custard shake.
Oh, well, that sounds all right.
Yeah, I don't think I should have it, but okay. I'm down a pound today.
How many points
on
is
my way
that?
in?
Oh, good.
1 billion points.
Let's just
points.
add it back on then with this shake. It'll be perfect.
Exactly. If I jog while I drink the shake, I might be able to offset some of its dangers.
Damn, dude.
But,
that sounds really good right now. Even though
no, it doesn't, because it's shug. You're off the shug.
I'm off the shug, but it still sounds good.
Don't even think about the shug.
No more
Tristan
shug.
started a new job where he's over by there's a Culver's fast food right by where he works. He's like, bring you back a custard shake, pumpkin shake for each of us.
Well, that was nice of him.
Very nice of him.
Yeah, little dad.
He's a good kid, that kid.
Yeah, he's a good kid. That makes me happy to hear that. All right, let's do this.
Okay.
Time is now.
Okay. Place is here.
The place is here, and it starts.
Yeah.
In 3, 2, 1.
This is the morning stream, but it's not in the morning, it's at night. Tmspm.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tmspm. It is the PM edition of the show for November 15th, 2019. It's 3:30 Mountain Time. Actually, a little later than that. We're about 9 minutes late. I don't care. Whatever. Who cares? I don't care. Nobody cares.
Who cares? Nobody cares. Who's going to care?
Nobody cares. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Ibby. You here talking? Hi, Brian.
Hi, Scott Johnson. And hi, everyone else.
And your day today was good?
It was good. It was. It's been a really, really busy day. Trying to balance everything that had to get done today, and I did not get everything done today.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That needed to get done today. And there's still tonight, but I don't think I'm going to get stuff done tonight either.
I have a similar problem, and I somehow got to watch Film Sack between this stuff. I think you already did, right? You got it done?
I did. I watched it this morning.
Yeah.
What's
Dante's Peak like in the morning?
Well, it's whatever. I mean, it's it's what. It's like, all right, when you've got TMSPM and you've got Guess the Connection at 1, and everybody's going to want to go out and do dinner somewhere fancy and all that stuff later on. It's like, all right, the only chance I'm going to have is either watching it tonight or like late night, or watching it early morning, or watch it after breakfast.
When you say you say somewhere fancy tonight, where are you guys going? Somewhere good?
Oh, I mean, well, just just as a group, just the people want to get together and go out and
sure.
Yeah, nowhere fancy.
Yeah, just somewhere nice, somewhere good, somewhere
just
tasty.
somewhere good. Maybe sushi, maybe Mexican, maybe I don't know.
Both of those sound like options. Those sound really good.
Both of those are options, indeed.
I think Kim and I will do something similar. Although Kim has she has her colonoscopy on Monday. As just a thing. She's not going in there for any reason. Right. It's just her doctor says, hey, it's time to get one. That's all. Mm-hmm. And so she can't have any she can't have any like things she normally likes. Like she likes vegetables, she likes fruit, she likes healthy things. And they're actually saying don't eat any of that between now and Monday. So
really?
Yeah, she has to eat like crap for the next 2 days. Well, not like crap, but bland foods like rice.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, well, they're like saying, please eat junk food for the next 3 days before your colonoscopy.
Just a fiber-free diet over the next few days.
Yeah.
Which is probably TMI, and I apologize, but she's on the lam there. So we'll see how that goes. But as a result, I don't know where I'm taking her tonight. I told her I'd take her somewhere. I have to think of something that'll be okay for her to eat without screwing this up.
Nice.
Because she plays by the rules.
There you go. By the way, yesterday was Mystery Date. I didn't have this in the show notes.
Oh, do tell.
Excuse me, but it was Mystery Date. And so Tina took me out for, there's a great ramen place that is between us and the movie theater.
Yeah.
And so it's like, all right, we're coming this direction. We're either going to the movie theater or we're going to the Arvada Center, which is like where they have musicals and plays and stuff like that, operas. And so I'm like, all right, we're going one of those two places. So first have our ramen, and then we continue on in the car to the movie theater. And I do what I did last time, which took me to see Die Hard, the anniversary of Die Hard, is that I I look straight down to the ground as we're walking into the theater, so I don't see the little LED marquee that shows what's playing right in that theater.
All right.
So she's like, "Okay, we're going to the theater 4," and I don't see anything going. I don't look for anything, and so I just stare at the ground like I'm a blind person walking in to go see a movie or something, or like a crazy person.
Sure.
And sit down. Unfortunately, this time they're just showing a bunch of Fathom event ads, right? So it's just like, coming up later in Fathom Events, it's some kooky opera, The Magic Flute, and then there's going to be a Studio Ghibli festival, and we're going to show all the Studio Ghibli stuff, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then the last thing they show before the house lights go down is, stay tuned after the show for a documentary about Rod Serling. And then I'm like, is this Twilight Zone? Are we watching Twilight Zones? And she's like, yep, like 5 remastered Twilight Zone episodes on the big screen.
Oh, that's cool. I was thinking like a movie, but no, it's episodes. Huh.
Oh, we went to a theater and watched TV, Scott, is what we did.
That's cool, though. Those are really great, and remastered sounds neat. I'd love to see those.
Do you want to guess, this is kind of a fun little quick game. Do you want to guess which 5 Twilight Zone episodes? Because I was surprised by this. If you would have asked me, I would have gotten 3 of the 5 correct.
Okay, let me give this a shot. I'm going to try. The Shatner one?
No, that was one I would have expected. That's like, all right, for sure they're going to have Nightmare at 30,000 feet.
Okay,
but
so
no
monkey on the plane. Let's try this one. The one where everyone's ugly and she's pretty.
Ding! Okay. Eye of the Beholder, yes.
All right, Eye of the Beholder. The one where the guy breaks his glasses and can't read all the books in the world.
Ding! Enough time enough at last.
Okay.
Yes, Burgess Meredith, the Penguin. Come on.
That's right. It is Burgess Meredith. I forgot he was him.
Yeah. Batman.
And then Lesson Rock. That's more like the voice I always think of him. All right. Oh, geez. So that's 2 out of 5, and I got one wrong.
And you got one wrong.
All right. Oh, geez. The one where the kid is making all the adults do shit.
Right. The one that we watched for Film Sack, the remake was Billy Booby. Putin, and I can't remember the name of that one, but that one is not one of them. No,
it was not one of them. Oh, wow.
No.
Okay, how about?
I would have been that was one I was expecting as well. I thought, all right, they're going to do all of the ones that we had that got remade for. Oh, look at this! Look what's arriving.
What would you get? Oh, the shake.
Look at that. Is that the smallest size they have? Thank you, Tristan. Oh yeah, you didn't buy one for yourself? Well, all right. I would have paid for it.
I know.
All right, cool.
Oh, he's just being
how
nice,
is it?
Nice son stuff.
All right. Look at that.
Yeah. Now that's as Tim
I'm on the shug, Scott. Oh,
yep, you're on the shug. As Tim Blake Nelson would say in freaking no country for no brother, who brother or oh brother where art thou?
Oh brother for old men.
Old men. As he would say in there, that's a good boy. Boy, that took me a long time to get there, but well done, Tristan. Really anyway, so I can't think of any more.
All right, I'll just tell you the other ones. To Serve Man.
Okay, which one's that?
That's the one where the goofiest looking aliens, and these aliens look, I mean, it's Richard Kiel as an alien.
Okay.
You better look up a
Richard Kiel alien.
Richard Kiel, Jaws from the James Bond movies.
Yeah. The guy we saw sitting sad at his table in Vegas that one year.
Yeah, here.
Remember that? It was
yes,
sad.
I do remember that.
Oh, look at that. My gosh. Wow. That's amazing, that head.
Yeah, I know. And that, but the look, it was just like, it was such a crack up.
Holy heck, dude. That's insane.
Because there's part of the introduction. So basically, he doesn't talk. He talks through a speaker that is speaking English, right? So he's got like a translator that connects to his thoughts. So he just stares at the camera with this face.
There it is. Look at that.
Exactly.
Look at that chat room. That's amazing. Holy crap.
And he like stares at the camera like that for a good solid 30 seconds.
Wow. That is
all right,
really
so that's
great.
that's the one where he's got a book. Oh, it's to serve man. Oh, they're going to do great things for us. They're going to be awesome and help us out here. And they're loading us all in their spaceship. Okay, why are they weighing us? Oh my God, to serve man is a cookbook.
Yeah, not that guy. Look at him. Don't trust that face. Wow.
Is that the one with his head slightly cocked to the side?
Yep, and he's just looking all like stoned at you with his fake beard.
That's the one I love. Right
it looks like he's about 12 there too. He looks very young for Richard Kiel. I guess he would have been pretty young, but
really young.
Yeah.
Then another one was The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street, which is one I had not seen before, surprisingly.
Okay.
This is like a block where they saw light shoot across the sky. They think it's aliens. Lights start flickering on and off, and cars start by themselves, and so they start like accusing each other of actually being aliens in disguise, and they, one of them shoots another one, and it just goes like it turns into absolute mayhem. And
in the end, does it turn out there really are no aliens, and they've just been...
In the end, it turns out the aliens are sitting up on a hill kind of overlooking this and saying, yep, all we had to do was flicker the lights on and off for a little bit, and this is what's going to happen.
I love the Twilight Zone. It's great.
Totally. And then The Invaders, which is the Agnes Moorehead one, where she doesn't speak a word during... Actually, yeah, she doesn't speak a word during the entire thing. She just grunts. She's like this isolated... woman living out in the middle of who knows where.
Yeah.
And this little spaceship shows up, and these little aliens come out of it, and she's like, and she's hitting them with an axe and like kicking them into the fire, and she smashes up their spaceship. And as she smashes up the spaceship, you hear the alien inside go, "This is so and so, astronaut so and so calling Earth. We've been attacked by some sort of giant humanoid." And you figure out, oh my God, she's the alien. We're the little creatures exploring. And oh no.
They love doing that. They love switcherooing it on us, don't they?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And then the last one was Walking Distance, where this guy goes and gets, and this is another one I've never seen. I don't even think, like, I've heard of The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street and the other ones.
Yeah.
This one I'd never even heard of, but it's Walking Distance. This guy leaves his car at a shop. He just had to get out of New York. He's an overworked ad man, and he's just all stressed out and stuff. So he drives out into the country, gets his car lubed up and oil changed. He says, I used to live in that town by there. Can I get there? He's like, yeah, it's only a mile and a half. It's totally walking distance.
Mm-hmm.
And then he walks there, and he's like, I used to come to this ice cream shop. Let me get an ice cream, a chocolate soda. Man, these things used to cost 10 cents. And the guy says, yeah, they cost 10 cents. And so he buys. It's like, oh, that's weird. And then he goes to another place and says, the Calliope, I thought they tore that thing down. And what do you mean, this brand new thing? And he said, yeah, I carved my name in that post right over there. And there's him as a little kid carving his name in that post. And it's only after that, and he chases the kid back to his house and sees his parents, who've passed away probably, that he realizes, oh, I've traveled back in time after 20 minutes of all this stuff.
That's fun. He was a slow learner, but he got there.
He was a very slow learner. He finally
was that is that Opie the kid? Looks like Opie.
Opie's the kid, yeah. Little Ronnie Howard.
Ron Howard.
He's not the one. He's not the guy as a kid, but he's the first person that he comes into contact with.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you mean, mister? The old Sloan house? You guys still call it the Sloan house? We moved out of there a long time ago. What are you talking about? Well, my name's Matthew Sloan. I know Matthew Sloan. You know Matthew Sloan.
Part of what made that show great was the overacting by everybody.
Totally, yeah.
Because it was just such a time for that sort of thing. That's amazing. I want to see all these. That sounds great.
Yeah, it was so good.
So Tina's, I feel like she's done all the recent ones. What was the last one you did where you picked? What'd you pick?
I did 2. So she was crazy busy in September. So I took over. I had August. I took over September. And then she did October and November. So yeah, she did last month where we went to the coffin races.
Oh, right. That's right.
And the last one I did was... Is
that the Red Rock deal? Concert thing?
No, that was
earlier.
Yeah, that was like in May or April or something. The Prince concert at Red Rocks.
Man, time flies.
Totally does. Yeah, I can't remember what the
Feels like
what the
5
ones were
minutes
this
ago.
last summer.
Huh. Well, she has a touch for this. I think it's great.
Yes. Well, the good news is we take off. We take December off because of all the stuff that's going on in December, and then it's back to me in January. So I've got a little over a month to figure out what I'm going to do in January.
Nice. It'll all work out great, I'm sure.
It totally will. Yes.
All right. Before we pull Dan in, we got a couple of quick things. Number one. I was at the University of Utah yesterday, again, teaching Corinne's class, talking about content creation around video games. It was great. There's like 200 kids in there. They were all awesome, very excited, very energetic. I think the next generation of people like us have got it going on. They're cool. And they're all sitting there, and as the thing went on, there were a lot of laughs. I was trying to be Mr. Funny Scott,
Of course.
trying to make the kids happy. And we're there for like an hour and a half or something, just talking. Corinne's asking questions, I'm answering, and then people from the audience would ask questions. All through this thing, there was a secret class farter. Somebody was back there in the rear going, like
nice.
cracking them off every 5 minutes or so, and not taking credit for it. And it wasn't like a buzzer thing or a noisemaker, because it was different every time. It was like a little, and like people would laugh at him over there. I just ignored it, pretend like I wasn't noticing. I don't think Corinne even noticed. But over here on the right, every 5 minutes, someone's cracking one off.
Wow.
Yeah. It didn't get all reeky in there, so that's good. But
So how did you know? Like there were people, because you weren't in the back, so you
No, I
must
was
have
in
been
the front.
told afterwards that there was somebody back there farting.
I heard the farting, but I couldn't. But I
okay.
couldn't see.
So it wasn't just.
I couldn't see who was doing it, and I saw some people giggling, but they weren't. They were giggling autonomously, almost like they didn't know where it was coming from either.
You could hear it all the way in the front.
Oh yeah, it was like a little amphitheater style like classroom thing.
Yeah.
So it's super ramped up, and everybody's sitting right up here looking right at you, and it's all very close quarters. But somebody just kept going. And I was like, all right, freaking go outside, let it rip, and then come back. Anyway,
that's awesome.
Secret
Great.
farter in the class. It was a real good time. I almost forgot. Here's the other important thing. Here's our theme for it. That's not a good one. But anyway, we're giving away something today. Greg for Walkman from Boston was nice enough to offer up something very cool. And he did that we decided to go ahead and do it in our Discord channel, and had people sign up for this contest by putting in the word PAX. Well, what was he giving away? A 4-day PAX pass to PAX East, that's in Boston, for 4 days. That's like the expensive one, like the one that is hard to also get. So he got this thing and was generous enough to say, hey, wouldn't this be cool if you gave it away to somebody in the community? I said, abso-freaking-lutely. So we have a winner, and I want to announce that winner with a way better theme. Let's see. How about this one? Our winner is Viral Master. Viral Master in the chat. I pulled him completely randomly.
Viral Master.
I don't know if he's in the chat room tonight, but he's definitely going to hear about it in the Discord. Viral
so cool.
Master. Master of viruses is what we
Dude, that is awesome. Congratulations.
Isn't that great? So I'm going to say, I'm going to do it right now. Say, congrats goes to Viral Master.
Now, what if he can't make it?
If he can't make it, well, you only could, the way the contest worked is you had to enter to get it.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't just, you didn't just pull somebody at random from our current list of viewers.
No. It was like purely like if you didn't post it, that meant you're not in the running. So you had to have wanted to go in order to enter. So it's still possible he's just funning around. That's possible. Hopefully he can go. If he can't, we'll just pull another random name. But as it stands right now, Viral Master, you're the guy. You're the one. Congratulations. And thanks again goes to our good buddy, Greg from Walkman.
Greg for Walkman. Because remember, you have to thank Greg for Walkman.
Yeah, Greg for Walkman from Boston. That's what I meant to say. So there's that, and congratulations on that. All right. Finally, I hear through a little tiny bird that ANTP, that's America's Next Top Podcaster, might be having its own little Patreon soon.
They are, yes. We just launched it today. And so we got some good stuff going on with it. First 75 people who sign up get a lanyard, the lanyards that we had for our first season contestants. So make sure you go check it out. But we're going to have some really cool content, not just the shows, and you get all this bonus stuff. Like Hammond's been saving all this blooper audio and all this additional audio from coaching sessions and things like that. We're actually going to have extra bonus show content that's just for patrons that you're going to want to experience. So make sure you go patreon.com/toppodcaster, patreon.com/toppodcaster. And
that's a good get, that name. Nice job.
It is. Yeah.
Now, before you do that, go do Patreon for TMS, but then go over there.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. Yes. Because you don't get this show that we're telling you about the other Patreon. You don't get this show unless you support TMS's Patreon. So patreon.com/TMS. And don't pull any money out of TMS's Patreon to go put it in that one.
That's right.
That's gravy over there. This is the meat.
Right, but man, remember how good meat is with gravy on it. So go get some gravy.
Sorry, I didn't even think about the fact that I'm like, promoting this on a show that we need the Patreon love here.
Well, we do this show every day for hours a day, and sometimes we forget all things. But the bottom line is that's very exciting. Sounds like a great way to get some revenue on that show, and go check it out, you guys. Top podcaster on Patreon. All right, Dan, the tabletop man. Okay, I'm doing this different today, so let's see if this works.
Okay. I'll be able to see him, won't I?
Yes, in theory you should, which is what I'm trying to do. But basically, it's a long story. Apparently. Okay, I'm trying to add a person, and it doesn't want to let me add a person. Why? If you hit the little plus body person up there in your corner, does it do anything for you? You hit the little, you see the little...
the little plus body?
Yeah.
Yes, I can add people to a call.
Okay, for some reason it won't. It must be a one-off weird buggy thing. Or maybe I have to hit OK here. Hold on a second.
Do you think I can add... Do you want me to try adding Dan Patrice from my side?
Oh, now it works. Never mind, it works. I got it to work. It's working now. I think I know what I did.
Okay, good.
Okay, so we're going to try that. And then we're going to bring him in here. Oh, and you didn't hear a bloop, 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 did you? You didn't hear any of that?
No, I didn't. Oh, yeah, no, that's good.
This is a good sign.
Look at that, I see him.
And I can see him too. Okay, now He's
got his windows closed, so it's a good thing because I wouldn't be able to see him otherwise because I have a camera stationed in a white van across the street from him. So I'm glad we've got the Skype set up this way.
So now there's
I saw a new Wi-Fi that said Brian's secret van. I was going to try to attach to that one.
Somebody posted on Twitter an SSID, a Wi-Fi signal name that I'm totally going to steal at some point. That's pretty fly for a Wi-Fi.
Oh, nice. I feel like I've seen that as well. I wonder how common that one is. I think
you might have seen the same tweet that I saw.
No. I mean, I saw one while I was like on my phone out somewhere.
Oh.
And somebody had it running like locally.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Then
maybe more common than we think.
Maybe.
Yeah, do it anyway. It's still good. A good joke's a good joke.
Exactly.
It's been a while. Hey guys, I'm nice to meet you.
Oh, here's this.
Be careful. May cause drowsiness.
There, I had to do your theme. It has been a while, Dan. What's going on? How come you've been so hard to find? Not really. You've just been busy and gone and stuff. It's all good.
I was we were literally out of town at hockey tournaments for 3 out of 4 weekends, and then my charity event was last weekend.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go? How'd things roll for you there?
It went really well. I think we raised, I don't have the official numbers, but right now early numbers are about $16,000 we raised for Turner Syndrome Society of the United States and Carolina. So that's it's a successful event. So I was real proud of it. And it was interesting. So Scott, you look, I could tell already that your diet's working.
I know I'm losing weight in the face.
It's a and of course, Brian, you look better and better every day, my friend.
Oh, shut up.
Great.
Thank you. I'll celebrate with a drink of milkshake. Drink it up.
My kids said the same thing. They're like, Dad, you look skinnier. I'm like, okay, cool. All that time I said I looked fat, and you all said, no, you don't. You actually did think I looked fat, is what I told them. Because now they're saying, you've lost weight, Dad.
Well, it's you feel so bad about a backhanded compliment by saying, oh, you look good. What is it, like, I look like crap before?
Right. Well, no, you got to take it as, wow, I didn't think you were fat before, but now that I've seen you lose weight, I guess you did have a couple pounds you could lose. That's the way to say it.
That's how you do it.
It's like,
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there was a buddy of ours, Eric Handler. I made sure he was in the chat today. He comes down every year from Minnesota. He's a buddy of ours from gaming. He lost 100 pounds.
Whoa!
Wow!
No joke. And I wanted to tell you guys the 2 things that he was using for about a year.
Okay.
He was using an app called Nutrition IX or Nutritionix.
Okay.
It's a calorie counter and a weight and exercise tracker.
Okay.
And there's also on your the Apple Watch, there's the activity app for the iPhone and Apple Watch.
Mm.
So the only weird thing about everything was that every now and then during the 24-hour marathon, handler would get up and he'd just start. he's just running
in place.
Yeah, so
that's great.
It's really weird to see like some dude like across the room, he's playing a board game, but then he's jogging in place. But hey, it apparently works.
If it works, yeah, absolutely. Not going to argue with that.
100 pounds.
I've heard that before.
You know what? I could lose 100 pounds if I could have my butt amputated. There you go. That would take care of it right there.
Just amputate your butt. I'm trying to think what that would look like. If you amputated your butt, what would that look like for you?
It would be great. I could sit on flat surfaces comfortably for long periods of time.
Yeah.
Yes, but your milkshake would no longer bring the boys to the yard.
Yeah.
That's true. It's true.
I mean,
that's all right. Yours could be better than mine. That's right. It could be better than mine. Now, you could teach me, but you'd have to charge me.
But you'd have to charge. Sorry, while you guys were talking, I was switching your videos around, and now I think I got it working. Anyway.
Okay, cool.
So every year I lose my voice. It's just about back now, too. So thank God. I've got
timing.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Oh, yeah. It's nice and low.
So, Dan, I've got to thank you. After the last time you were on, you had recommended Horrified. Ooh. We bought that. We played it. We didn't play it on Halloween, but we've been playing it since Halloween and loving it. Totally loving it.
Such so good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And we've only done, we've done Wolfman, Dracula. Wolfman has nards, by the way. Wolfman, Dracula.
Shut up. What? Wait, stop. You can't just jump over that. Wolfman has nards?
Oh, come on now.
Oh,
really?
Scott. Oh, you got to know that.
I didn't know Wolfman had, like visible nards?
Oh, it's a quote.
Chat room, help him.
I don't know what this is. Wolfman has nards? What is it?
What? Monster Squad. We watched
Squad.
it for Film Sack. You probably even have Wolfman's Got Nards in the on your
soundboard.
Soundboard, yeah.
We haven't seen that for Film Sack.
We've totally seen
Monster Squad? Oh my gosh. All right.
Hold on a second. Have we seen?
Continue praising that, and I'm going to look it up because I don't remember this at all.
Wouldn't you think Monster Squad would make a great theming for Horrified?
Yes. Film Sack 266, by the way. Film Sack 266.
Oh, you're right. When was this? October of 2015. I don't remember that at
Halloween
all.
2015, yeah.
No member of this. Okay, well, okay. Sorry. Keep complimenting the game. I'm going to find
anyway.
a thing.
We did Invisible Man. But anyway, yeah, it's such a great game, and I would love to see what they do for expansions.
Oh my gosh, we have a file. Sorry. All right, I'm going to play the file. This is my half of my brain is dead. Hold on, we're gonna play it.
Wolfman's got nards.
I don't remember that at all, and I captured it.
It's as common as the "You're Killing Me" Smalls from Sandlot. When you talk about Wolfman, 50% of people say Wolfman has nards.
I don't remember this at all. Oh my gosh, that makes me feel stupid. All right, anyway, sorry. I'm now done cutting you off. Go.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Anyway, just loving that game. So great recommendation. Thank you much for suggesting that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Scott, you would absolutely love this game too. It's just so good for your family, and it's just so good for family and light play. It's just it's a very chill game. Wouldn't you say, Brian? Very chill.
It is, and boy, you don't realize how important the component of working together is. It's a cooperative game, right? You're thinking, all right, it's a cooperative game. Totally get that.
Yeah.
But then you start figuring out, the only way that we can win this is if I teleport over to you, give you my codes or my items, you go into the crypt, kill Dracula, and then
then you got to try to teleport somewhere else.
Then you got to teleport somewhere else. Like, you really have to think several steps ahead.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this too, Brian.
Yeah.
Now, how many different players, and have you, knowing that there's a plan in place?
Yes.
Have you seen an alpha player problem with it, or do you think it sorts itself out in the game? Do you know what the alpha player problem is?
I never heard of that.
Like me, basically saying, all right, Joe, you're going to do this. Frank, you're going to do this. You're going to do this. That
yes.
Guess I become alpha player.
Well, I didn't know if you actually did that, or if you were just using that as an example. But
yeah, I'm the alpha player problem is what I'm saying. No, I don't think there's because we've seen Tina do that. We've seen Tristan do that. So no, it's everyone throws in a here's the best way to do this kind of thing. and figure out suggestions of how we can use our cards and use our abilities to win the game. But is that a thing with some of these cooperative games?
Yeah, so you have to really watch, especially with games where all the information is there. Like, the thing about Horrified is that basically all the cards are face up and everything's face up. So you could probably pretty much, that alpha player can plan everything. Things like Pandemic, you still get the alpha player. And sometimes in things like Descent, where it's co-op, you can get, and there's just horror stories of just alpha players just being such a jerk to everybody at the table. You just don't want, that's why when you're playing with everyone that's friends, that's fine, but when you're at a convention game or something like that, man, alpha players can really ruin everything. So hopefully and it's actually a design thing that designers have to think about, like, how do I rule out, or how do I make that there is no
so probably keeping those perk cards face down, or like, invisible to all the other players except for the player who holds it, maybe would be the way, if you're really worried about an alpha player in this sort of thing.
And there's a good there's a good side to it too, where you have if you're playing with your family, or maybe you have younger kids and you want them to play because it's a pretty cool theme for it and it's pretty light. You could be like, they could be like, oh, I want to move over here. Well, how about maybe you go over here and pick up this nice little axe?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Now, do you see that to defeat Dracula, we have to destroy all of his coffins? What do you see in that space right there?
Yep.
That's interesting. But, alpha players are.
That game is a blast.
Alpha players are hard on everything, right?
There's probably an alpha problem with escape rooms too. Now that I think about it, you got to worry about some schmuck who comes in.
That's the thing with everything.
You start working on that puzzle. I'm going to be over here working on this one. No, you can't help me. You go over there.
But isn't that a thing with everything? Everything's like that. Everything's got an alpha player problem. Video games, your kids at the park or at the freaking playground. It's more amplified when you've got a cooperative thing as opposed to like
it's not
video
really
game.
a thing when it's competitive. There's nobody telling you what to do because you want to kill them anyway.
Right.
In video games, we call that a Tetsemi.
Ah. He is pretty alpha.
He's our raid leader.
Oh, nice.
Raid leaders kind of need that because they don't know what they have to do.
We totally do, yes.
That's a reference.
Hey, so speaking of raid leader.
Yes.
You guys know there was a pretty big con out in Anaheim a couple weeks ago.
There was.
BlizzCon. Yes, I heard about this thing.
Yeah.
I watched it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So there's been some reports about a board game that was kind of announced, and it wasn't a whole lot of information, but it's more like a re-implementation or a reskinning of an older game, which is a really good old game. I have the box right here for everybody.
So wait a minute.
An old game called Small World. So they're doing Small World of Warcraft.
What?
Which
Oh, really? I didn't see anything about this.
Yeah, so it was kind of like I don't know where the display case was, but apparently there was a display case somewhere, and it was kind of like, coming soon. Hey, look for this. And the pictures are kind of in that thing I put on BGG. I sent it to you guys. Yeah. Now, there's good and bad things about this. Now, this is an interesting thing. This is kind of, I don't want to call it a character study. It's more of a societal study. Now, early things on BGG, man, people are absolutely railing against the game. And I don't know if it's because of the whole Blizz thing. People are kind of anti-Blizz right now. So everybody's like,
anti-everything Blizz. Yeah.
Right. So we don't really need this. Why are they coming out? I'm like, dude, who gives a crap? This looks awesome. Reskinning, everything. It's already one of the best games made in, ever. And if anybody out there never heard of Small World, you can actually download an app for your iPhone. Not iPhone. I think it's iPad only. And probably, I think it might even be on Steam. It's Small World 2 is the app you want to download. It's very cheap. I think it's only like $3.99, and you can play against the AI. Great tutorial on it. It's a really, really good game. You really should check it out. But basically what they're going to do is reskinning this with World of Warcraft, kind of races and things like that. And what you're doing during the game, played over, I think it's like 10 rounds or so. You're playing it, and you kind of get a race and a power combo. At the beginning of the game, there's a bunch of races that are dealt out on the left side, and a bunch of powers and things like that are on the right side, like a trait. And they're randomly associated. So when they go together, they tell you how many pieces you get of that race, and then how you're going to score your special powers associated with it. And then you kind of go and you kind of put your guys out there. You're scoring some points, getting some extra points, and then when people are taking you over, you lose some guys here and there, but you regain some. But at a certain point in the game, you have to go in decline. So you basically flip over everything, and then you have to get a new race and class combo. So which is pretty cool. So you can't get really married to just one, because there's a time where everybody over the course of our societies go in decline. So you have to know when to fold them and then go get a new race and class. So where the World of Warcraft's come in is because there's a ton of good races that they can have. And I don't know what they're going to do as far as the powers, whether they're going to be classes that are going to give you special powers or what, but because there's not a whole lot of info yet. And I'm hoping that maybe they introduce something to the game, because the game is like probably 10 years old. I can't remember how old Small World is.
Every comic book store you go to, any video or board game store you go to, there's 1,000 of those, and you see them. I feel like I've seen them for 20 years.
I've
Obviously,
seen that
it's not
logo forever.
Oh,
yeah. Here's the funny thing: you must have recommended this before, because I apparently downloaded this game. I wish I could see when I downloaded it.
It's been a while.
Is it a phone thing?
But I have not launched it. Like, not even launched it.
Wow.
Downloaded it.
I didn't realize the iOS thing even existed until you reminded us today. I forgot that was even a thing. So that's kind of cool. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think the negative flackback is also just due to, even though this is a common thing to do in board games, so I don't know why people would freak out, but they're mad because they're tying they're basically just skinning the game?
IP reskinning and IP. No, I don't think that's it. I think it's just, I think everybody just wants to pile on, and I would probably say, now this is just me being me, I would say that probably 65 to 70% of those people that are complaining about it will be the first people online to buy it.
Yeah, it's always
so no matter how much they want to save face in the public when they're on BGD, they're like, oh, I gotta get it, get it.
That's true of all Blizzard people. The louder they get, the more I know they're going to buy it when it comes out. That's pretty much the deal. So we don't, and in the fact that we don't know too many details, part of those details, we have no idea when that's coming out, right?
No, and so this is what's interesting too about Blizz. So, as we know, Blizz likes to release things when they're ready. So, and they have to have final say on pretty much everything, even board game stuff, obviously. Even with IPs, they usually like to get the final thing, because I've known of at least, I think there was 2 games that I've heard of, one of which I know for a fact that I've heard from some inside sources that there was a really cool deck building game that was done. They sent it to Blizz. This company A sent it to Blizzard, and they were just waiting for the final, yes, it's good to go. And it basically is, vaporware and never to be seen again. Mm-hmm. And that probably would have been a really cool game. Granted, it's been like 5 or 6 years since I've heard this story, but it would have been great to have seen that. So hopefully, since it's Asmodee, and the other company I was talking about is a little smaller company. Asmodee is obviously a juggernaut. Asmodee and Days of Wonder, they're a juggernaut. So probably this one will be probably a little quicker. I'm hoping that maybe we see it by, Origins or maybe Gen Con of next year. But again, it's ready when Blizz says it's ready. And you would hope that it wouldn't be that hard since it's mostly reskinning. But I'm gonna see if I can get some connections over there at Asmodee and see what I can do to find us some more information.
That'd be great. Maybe they chose them because Asmodee sounds like Asmodan, and that's a character in the Blizzard IPs. So that's cool, right?
Yeah, that was my wrestling name in high school.
Oh, Asmodan, was it? Did you have 2 giant nipple rings? And
I was a lot fatter back then too.
Okay, you were they knew you as you were the primeval of sin. That's how they knew you. Okay,
I didn't have to move at all. It just stood there.
Oh, that's very nice. Well, that's cool. I'm looking forward to seeing whatever the hell that is, if it is any good or not, because you never know.
I think you would appreciate this one too, because it's the game itself, Small World, is pretty light, and I think that the reskinning would bring a lot. A lot of these companies are trying to get other people. Like, remember back, Lords of Waterdeep got a lot of the role players into the board gaming. Mm-hmm. So maybe the small World of Warcraft can get a lot of the computer. They're always trying to get the crossover game, get the video gamers in, get all those World of Warcraft people into board gaming.
Sure. What are you playing these days? Like, if I was to go to your house this weekend, what game are you pulling out and going for?
Oh Lord. So there's a million. I actually have another quick iOS for you that I kind of mentioned, but it's one that I downloaded. Is really good. Okay. 7 Wonders Duel. I mentioned that it was coming out a while ago. I did download it and tried it. So 7 Wonders Duel, it's a 2-player. It's basically the 2-player version of 7 Wonders. And I think you guys would really dig this. And if you do, let me know so we can play each other. It's a really cool 2-player. Plays very, very quick. You can play a game probably in 5 or 10 minutes. I think it's only like $3.99, something like that. But it's a very good implementation.
7 Wonders.
$4.99. Looking at it right now.
I like games that are just a price. I like those. Oh, yeah, look at this.
Oh, yeah. Didn't you tell us about this when it was board game? Right. I remember seeing this artwork and saying this artwork is gorgeous.
And the game itself plays very, very well. You don't have to know a lot. There's a really good tutorial in there as well. And they're going to put async in there. It's not async yet. I think it's only live with 2 players. But there is solo. I played a ton of games
I do like
solo.
async. I like async a lot. Brian and I used to play a lot of async games, because I could make a move and he could be busy, and then he could check it an hour later and then make his move, and then I could find it later, and like you didn't have to be there live with each other, which
that's my absolute favorite way to play apps.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
It's great.
Let's see, $4.99. Boy, I wish there aren't a lot of ratings on this. It sounds like the word hasn't gotten out.
Put this in Apple Arcade. Come on, so that we can have access to it for what we're already paying for.
Yeah. Well, $4.99 by itself, or I don't know. That's a good point. So, Brian, that means you would have spent $10 on games this month if all you did was buy this plus a month of Apple Arcade.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. If that was the only thing that
was all you spent money on. Exactly. All right. Well, I'd forgotten this was even a thing. I'm gonna have to check this out.
So board game wise, I do have an interesting one for you here.
Okay.
Now, this is kind of, at first glance, this kind of looks like a dry, soulless Euro. But since we're already talking about drafting, I figured I'd talk about this one. Hadara is a fairly newer game. This is Benjamin Schwer. His other game, Crown of Amara, is actually a dry soulless Euro, but it's amazing and it's pretty heavy. Not something you'd want to get into, Scott. Crown of Amara. But this one, it actually kind of has that same look too, where it looks like it would be a lot heavier, but it's really just drafting, where you're kind of drafting into a tableau. You're drafting people. There's 5 different colors, and each round you're going to grab 2 cards. Depending on, everybody has a little symbol that's going to be associated with one of the colors. You're going to grab 2 cards. You're going to look at one. You're going to discard one, and you're going to either buy one or discard it for money, kind of like you do in Seven Wonders, where you can kind of throw a card away for money. And then when you discard it, you'll, again, you put the discard pile goes back onto the table. And if you buy it, it goes in front of you in a tableau. And then it will probably either give you a special power or it'll increase one of your 4 different colors, which can be for money, or fields for feeding your people, or another thing where 2 other things where you can there's military, and there's also this prestige where you can do something else with that. I won't get into that. Anyway, so you're doing that for a whole round, and then the next round, each person in turn order, you'll pick one of the colors that's in that discard pile. This is phase B. You're in a discard pile. You just pick a card. You either throw it out, because so you can hate draft there. So if you don't want somebody else to have the card, you can hate draft and throw it away, or you can grab a card and buy it for yourself.
Is that what's called? It's called hate drafting?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I love that. Wow.
So you're basically doing that for over 3 different epochs. So there's 2 halves, and you're just playing it, and you're just kind of increasing your stuff, making some victory points, and you're all set. It really only takes about 45 minutes, and it makes a game that looks like it's supposed to be a lot heavier into a nice little light, chill drafting game. I really, really like this one.
Okay.
It's called Hadara.
Hadara. Okay.
All right. Sounds like something Brian would name his cat, doesn't it? Just a little bit.
Why? Is that the name of a space hooker, Scott?
Yes.
I only name my cats after space hookers.
That's true. There's only the one that we even know of. Well, this is great. All this stuff's always great, Dan. You thankfully do other stuff like podcasts and things where people can even learn more and see what's going on. That's even more than waiting once a week for us or whatever, once a month in the case of the last couple of months. So, Dan, tell us where they can go, what they can do, and how to get it.
So you can find me on the Geek All Stars podcast. I'll be doing a pretty much a review of the 24-hour board game marathon, where we'll talk about a lot of the games that were played and a lot of things that happened there. That'll be recording that this week, because it's been a little bit tough to get a new show of the Geek All Stars. So we'll have that one this week. I also do on the Major Spoilers Network, I do a Top 5 Express Board Games edition, where the next one that'll be coming up is I'm going to talk about all the top 5 games, the top 5 hotness from Essen. And I also do on the Munchkin Land podcast on the Major Spoilers, I do the Munchkin Minute, which is a bi-weekly news show. So I'll have a lot of news from the last couple of weeks. And, of course, I'll throw in a little more 2 cents about the Small World of Warcraft will be on there as well, where I also give a little bit of app news and also some Kickstarters to check out. And, of course, hanging out with you guys is the highlight of my
week. For us too, man. We've missed you.
We also like it.
Let me know when they come out with Small World of Warcraft Classic. That's when I'm going to get on board.
Everything takes a lot longer, and you don't want to
That's right.
All kinds of problems there.
It doesn't come with a box. You have to keep everything in your pockets.
Yeah, including your arrows if you're a hunter. It's real rough.
That's right.
And people are looking for a lot of cards that should be in there, but no. Apparently, the developer said no. That's as intended.
Yeah, that's as intended. That's how it's supposed to be. Dan,
you can only play it on a table that's 10 years old.
There you go. Nailed it. It's Dan, dude. Have a fantastic one, and we'll see you later. Yeah, we'll see you later. Right now, I got to fix Brian's position again. There you go.
Fix my position.
Well,
where do
position
I stand, Scott? What is my position?
You're sitting currently, so your position,
correct.
your current standing position, does not exist. We do not recognize it here.
That's true. Wow. Okay. Seems unfair.
Seemed harsher than that I meant it, but all right.
Yeah, damn. All right. Well, thanks. Jeez.
Check this out.
And you can always follow me on Twitter.
Got time for a couple of quick Twitter questions. These were submitted to the show via the AskTMS hashtag. There aren't many because I forgot to ask for new ones, but here's one from Thomas Chambers.
Okay.
It says this. Was wondering what you'd say about this. I started listening to a new podcast, and they asked for a review. I like the makers of this podcast, so do I leave an honest review or a glowing one? So the idea being, maybe he didn't like the show so much, but he loves who made it. So do they want to just throw unconditional support at them because they really like the people who made it? Or are they honest about the show itself? I lean toward honesty about the show itself. That's what I would say.
I do too, but follow-up question, is he talking about us? Like, is he talking about some other show that we're doing?
I don't know. He very well could be.
He likes us on TMS. He doesn't like us over on FilmSack, and I'm going to leave a crap review about FilmSack.
It's entirely possible, but I'll bet it's not us. If it is us, even if it is us, I'd still say just be honest. I'd rather have honest feedback than
maybe he likes us on FilmSack and he hates us on TMS.
I just don't like yes men or what's the word? Sycophants. I don't like sycophancy.
Yeah, no.
Sycophancy. There you go.
Unless your name is Wormtongue, and then it's fine. Then it's basically on your job description.
Then it's okay. Yes. But yeah, I if you're gonna do it, I would say be as honest as you can, even if it is us.
Exactly. Yeah. Here's my rule of thumb.
Okay.
If you really love a podcast, post a review about it and tell people how much you love that podcast. If there's something about a podcast that you don't like, but you like aspects of it, but maybe there's a couple things about it you don't like, just reach out to the hosts. It's like it's kind of the same thing as a crap Yelp review. Mm-hmm. It's like, all you have to do is just let the sushi place know that that the California roll was a little substandard. You could have used a little bit bigger piece of salmon sashimi next to it on your plate. Let them know, but don't do a scathing Yelp review that says this place should be condemned. Mm-hmm. The salmon I received was postage stamp size, and yeah,
that's a little tiny roll, postage stamp. I'd be mad too.
Tiny,
yeah. So do it with kindness and say, man, I love these hosts, but I'm not sure this show's for me yet, or something like that.
Right. Yeah, or just reach out to them and say, hey, have you ever considered doing this kind of thing with your show, or changing this other thing, rather than leaving a bad review? Just reach out to the host and say, and then if you don't feel like you're getting anywhere with the host, then leave a bad review that says, oh, I really like these guys, but boy, have they missed the mark with this show.
Yep, there it is. All right, how about this one? This is from Nikki, who says, I wanted to start a podcast where I record the badass stories grandparents have to tell about killing Nazis or shooting tigers in the face and stuff. Does this already exist? I'm going to say maybe.
Yes.
I mean,
every podcast idea you can think of has already been turned into a podcast.
Yeah. Also, I mean, there are plenty of shows where one of the episodes is they interviewed some World War II guy and talked about this very thing. So,
however, that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. You should absolutely do it, because if you looked at the other World of Warcraft podcasts and said, oh, there's already World of Warcraft podcasts, and they're not great, but they already exist, then we wouldn't have all the great stuff that we have in Frog Pants. So you should absolutely do it, and do it better. Figure out what they're doing wrong, or don't. Just do your own.
I'm in full agreement of that assessment. Yeah. Well said. Well done.
Yeah.
So that's it. Thanks for your questions.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah. We're out of them. Nobody sent us any new ones. But again, I usually ask the day of, and I forgot today, so it's kind of my bad. But don't worry, everybody. We'll be back with more of these real soon. For some reason, Chrome is farting out on me. Why? Okay, let's just see if we can fix that. All right.
That just means I've got more time to play Pokemon Shield, Scott.
Oh, today's the big day, is it?
Today's the big day. And... oh, he's taking the plastic wrap off.
What? That means you're going to play it.
That means I'm going to lick the chip. That means I'm going to play it.
Holy shite. All right, well, whoever had Brian for opening the package before Tmspm was even over, well done on your fantasy football sheet or whatever.
There you go.
Oh, I was going to say...
my Switch putting it right there, too.
Today's a little nutty because that came out, and so did that new Star Wars game. It's a crazy day for games, everybody.
And episode 2 of The Mandalorian came out.
I might have to go get that Star Wars
Yeah,
game. I'm
you and
hearing
me
good
both.
things.
Yeah.
I am going to watch Mandalorian tonight, though, so that'll be good. I've already seen the first episode, but I'm going to watch both of them again. The first one over again, and then the second one together with the kids. Yeah, we're going to do it with the kids tonight. They're all mad at me because I watched it without them. So
Me.
they're all going to laugh at you. All right.
They're all going to laugh at you.
You got to have that on the handy, and you did. Well done. All right. Big thanks to everybody who helped us today. Big thanks to Greg for Walkman for helping us out with that prize. That was awesome. Super cool of him to do that. I'll be sending information to both of those guys soon. And to Dan, of course, for stopping by, and all you guys for hanging out with us this afternoon. If you want to know why we even do a 5th episode of the week, you should go check our Patreon at patreon.com/TMS. It is the reason we do. So go take advantage of horrible planning and support us. We would love it. Also, frogpants.com/TMS. That's where you go for everything else, except for music, which we play here. Brian, what song do we have today?
Oh, let me tell you, Scott. ANTP contestant and social media coordinator for the Current Show, America's Next Top Podcaster, Current Show, Monica. Mm-hmm. It's her birthday today, Scott.
Oh, what? I didn't know that. Congratulations.
Yes. Happy birthday, Monica. Yeah. Wicked Kitten 13. She says, Dear Snap and Sugar Bear, well, this year did more shaking to me than the other way around. My grandma went into hospice, my heroes community took a big hit, and I lost a future I had imagined for myself, all the while competing in and losing a podcast competition that would have changed my life.
Wow.
Too bad I didn't make it to Diary Week.
Holy
Winky
crap.
Face.
Okay. Woo.
Aww,
that's hardcore.
Boy. Salty.
Yeah.
Let's keep this lighthearted, though, because I'm grateful for so many things over all the bad. I have incredible parents, amazing friends, and I'm working towards doing what I really love and getting paid for it. And I have my family in the Tadpool who have been there with me above and beyond. I don't think a girl could ask for much more. But she's going to ask for much more. What I could use is a boost of self-esteem. Could you please play Self-Esteem by Steven Seagulls? And thank you, Brian, for giving me giving into my weird love of bluegrass covers. And thank you both and that Tadpool for always keeping me lifted and laughing through it all. Love you, Monica, Wicked Kitten 13. P.S. You guys sound kind of sparkly.
Does she want to hear? I mean, I can play that.
I think she wants to hear that. She doesn't want to hear me do it.
All right, let's do it. Sparkly. All right, here it is. Daryl, everything sounds sparkly.
You guys sound kind of sparkly.
And also, now as a bonus, here's Bo Schwartz, another favorite of Monica. She likes Bo a lot. Okay. Here is Bo repeating that.
Everything is sparkly.
There you go.
Wow, you got the A side and the B side of the hit single "Sparkly."
There you go.
So indeed, she wanted to hear "Self-Esteem," originally done by The Offspring, covered here by Steven Seagulls. That weird, Swedish, I think, bluegrass band that does covers of heavy metal. They're awesome. This is from the newer album called Brothers and Farms. Came out a couple years ago, 2016. This is the only song from it I've picked up, so I'm going to go by the rest of the album. Here is Self-Esteem by Steven Seagulls.
Ooh, wow. I love it. All right, we're going to play that, and we're going to be back on Monday, and we can't wait to see all of you then, so come back and be here then. Goodbye. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
Where'd you get your body from?
Ugh. I forgot
about
that one.
Like he's singing a Kesha song or a Cardi B.
Oh, you're not wrong. I forgot we had that. I don't even remember the context, but dude, Third Eagle swooping in like the eagle do. All right. Shall we do... Do you want to do titles? Maybe
show titles.
Yeah.
What if I say no? Like it's not like we're not going to do it.
It's a good point. I'm doing them anyway, no matter what you say now.
Yeah.
It's one of those questions.